most probably, but the priest will struggle against the Warlock here.
Job's done. One of the key cards in this matchup is, as we all know, Lord Jaraxxus. It always messes with the priest so much, it generates so much advantage that priest just ends up not being able to get back from, usually, in the late game. But we see that Amaz actually does have ways to deal with it, Jaraxxus, in some way at least, because he has
the Blingtron
to destroy the weapon, or Harrison to destroy the weapon.
That's true, but also what is worth noting that the Twilight Drake will have to be dealt with damage. There is no silence, there is only one Shadow Word Pain, so even if there is the Shadow Word Pain, it has to be used with a combo with Shrinkmeister, so it will be extremely hard for Amaz to deal with it. Okay.
Oh, look at this, Dr. Boom also in Strifecro's Warlock deck. That doesn't surprise me at all, considering that Strifecro touted Dr. Boom as like the best legendary in the set.
That's true, that's true. I might think he actually plays Dr. Boom in a very single deck.
Probably.
So now Amaz is just spawning bodies to the floor, and he hopes just for the best. That's the strategy here. Strifecro has few options. He can buff his minion to 5 attack, but he doesn't want to do that because of the Shadow Word Death, excuse me, which can then kill the Twilight Drake. But he can still use the Mortal Coil to finish, an example, the injured Blade Master here. And I think that's your main target to kill here. Well, maybe not. There's still Auchenai on board, which prevents the injured Blade Master to be healed above those 5 points of HP. So which one do you kill here? The Auchenai?
I would most likely go for the one that is able to put out the most damage.
Look, and
Strifecro instead goes for the smallest threat.
That's something we didn't anticipate.
That is an interesting play, but yeah, I guess there was the dilemma of if he attacks Blade Master, the Twilight Drake gets more damage, and then Auchenai might be able to kill it.
But this way you lose the Twilight Drake always, because of the Auchenai that is dealing 2 points of damage with his hero power.
Also, if he attacked the Auchenai, he could have healed up the Blade Master again.
Well, right now, Strifecro isn't... Yeah, well, unfortunately for him, he is not able to clear the board. If he just would have Shadow Flame here, but he doesn't have it. So other options are...
Don't worry, Strifecro still has that double Antique Healbot in his hand. Oh my.
That's 16 points of life.
If Strifecro doesn't drop himself too low, then he will most likely always be stable.
Will this be the Defender of Argus here? To kill the Auchenai? I think so.
Yeah, we might just see that. I mean, Amaz hasn't shown any Shadow Word Death so far in this priest deck, so he most likely doesn't have them. This is why Defender of Argus buffing the Drake to 5 attack would be a decent play here.
Remember also that he's at 13 points of life, I wanted to say, but he's actually at 11 right now. So that's interesting.
Yeah, Strifecro wanted to go for the Molten Giant. He even live tapped before to make it cheaper.
And he drew into that Sunkeeper.
Yeah, he got rewarded for it actually by drawing Sun Fury as well.
Yep. But he's really on a thin ice here because he's really low. If there would be a Shadow Word Pain, a Shadow Word Death, excuse me, it's for the second time. Well, maybe he knows that Amaz isn't playing those.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any Shadow Word Deaths ourselves, and with this, with the deck being shaped up like that, there is no room in it. There is no room for Science. There is no room for Shadow Word Death. You kind of have Vol'jin as a replacement for Shadow Word Death anyway. Therefore, you don't really need it.
So now, actually, Strifecro is in command here.
Yeah, he just completely stabilized with that taunted up Molten Giant. He could just go super safe and start healing himself up with Siphon Souls and Antique Healbot, but instead he chooses to go for Dr. Boom, just to go for an even better board. He's not afraid of dying here anytime soon.
Vol'jin one turn too late.
He's still behind that big taunter.
Yep. So now there's a problem that there are two enormous creatures on board. A 7/7 Dr. Boom. It might be a disguised War Golem. And there's an 8/5 Molten Giant. Amaz chooses to Fort Steal, and he actually gets two relevant cards. Dark Bomb and Hellfire.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the mana to use both of them.
Nope.
That
So
would be pretty good if he could.
he also, by playing that Fort Steal, he also chooses not to play Holy Nova this turn. Which I think would be the best choice, just to kill that giant and those bombs. Hellfire anyway. Oh, that was very risky.
That was really risky. But
If
that
he
risk
would-
paid off.
Yeah, if that Cabal Shadow Priest would have been killed by the bombs, that would be disastrous.
I think it was a clear misplay. Maybe Amaz didn't consider the bombs hitting the Cabal Shadow Priest.
I think
because
he
the
didn't.
possibility was real, and he needed the Cabal Shadow Priest to attack the Molten Giant this turn.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really in a position to take that risk.
I really think that his heart stopped beating for 1 second
Once
there.
he saw those bombs
Yeah, that was
flying.
like, oh man, what just happened? Antique Healbot. Those Healbots are just fitting the deck so nice.
Yeah, the Antique Healbots are like the perfect fit in the Handlock. It always wants to drop low enough so you can play those Molten Giants, and then on the same turn when you play those Molten Giants you can stabilize your health again with the Antique Healbot.
So
It's just so much better than Farseer, to be fair.
well, you can play both.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why not?
It fits the deck, and also if you play Recombibulators in your Handlock, then that's a perfect target for the Recombibulator too.
Yeah, that's right. I can't doubt that you have enough room for in the deck.
Well,
If you
Naria
play
was
all
playing
those
one.
Yes, but yeah, we will see. Maybe Strifecro also plays one, because you can heal up. You can just reset your giants if you want to, and you can also make use out of those recombibulators. Get some. I mean, out of those healbots to get something better.
Lord Jaraxxus!
Lord, Burning Legion.
Oblivion!
Well, anyway, Jaraxxus hit the board, and this will kind of seal the deal. Even though the Blingtron is able to
Sweet move right here.
destroy Jaraxxus' hands.
Second time, Amaz is getting a Doomhammer from the Blingtron. Talk about luck here.
Yeah, I mean, even though Jaraxxus' hands got destroyed, he still gets another weapon, and also, yeah, obviously the hero power is still there. So Jaraxxus
Oh,
still
man.
a lot of stuff.
4/4 creature from 3/4. That was an update of attack with 1 point with that Recombibulator. Didn't really make the plan here, I think. Strifecro is, well, is in a great spot right here.
Yeah, Strifecro can just do whatever he wants here. He could like Siphon Soul the
He can
the
just
first
play
one, direct from the other one.
Slash Belcher and Farseer. First kill a creature. There's so many options here. You can also play a Watcher and Shadow Flame if you want. And
I'm
then
pretty sure that Strifecro, whatever he does, he wants to do an Infernal because that's just the best value
course.
for 2 mana. And after that, yeah, I think like getting rid of the board is very decent here. The question is, how does he want to do it?
well, he might go Siphon Soul the 4/4, kill the 3/2, and play the Ancient Watcher to the board.
He has to go for Argus. He can still use the Dark Bomb to kill off the Recombobulator, and that's what he does.
We also forget, we are forgetting that Dark Bomb can be actually used on the hero, so it's also a burst here.
That's right. Harrison Jones for Amaz.
That doesn't really do much.
That would have been good on when Jaraxxus hit the board, actually.
There's no way Amaz can win this game, I think. Even with Deathwing, that's just not winnable at all.
Yeah, that's when we'll just get Siphon Sold. Yeah, Amaz just kind of considering what is the best way to survive, but eventually he will just die.
The Ancient Watcher can't really attack yet, but here's a wall that is standing between Jaraxxus and Anduin. Doomhammer has no target to attack.
Yeah, Amaz still surviving because that Ancient Watcher cannot attack. Strifecro only has 6 damage with the weapon and the Dark Bomb. But next turn it will be over for sure.
Cypher Soul for Vol'jin, excuse me. Well, this game is over. A Belcher here? Nope. But a Taunter!
Anyway, Bodyguard actually saving him one more turn, or actually not because there's
a
another
Cypher Soul. Yep. Well, that's kind of funny.
Booty Bay Bodyguard seeing some action in constructed. I like it.
Okay, so it's 1-1, and now Amaz has to find a way to battle through those giants and Jaraxxus. And Amaz has the option to play his own Paladin or Warrior. What do you think?
Oh man, it's definitely a tough call, I think. Paladin used to be very, very strong against Handlock. But I think that the new version of Handlock with those
Antique
Healbots can just get out of range of Paladin too easily. Because
That's
Paladin, the control type of Paladin that Amaz is playing, for example, it cannot really burst down the Handlock fast enough. So therefore, if Handlock stabilizes with those heal bots, then it just buys him too much time. So yeah, it's kind of the matchup how it used to go was like you apply a bunch of pressure, then force him to drop the Molten Giants. Then you can equality those away and threaten lethal with some swings from the weapons. But right now, with the Antique Healbots, you get out of range of that late game swing that Paladin can provide. And
one Antique Healbot is just a counter to both swings for a 2-silver champion.
That's absolutely correct.
And it still poses a threat because it's a free minion. But Amaz has to do it, I think. He chose the Paladin for game 3, and the problem is that his setup is actually struggling against Handlock.
I'm also curious because I didn't see any owls in
Strifecro's deck? Well, maybe he didn't draw them. He's playing Ancient Watchers, so why wouldn't you play owls in your deck?
Well, you have to cut something for the
Antique Healbots.
Antique Healbots, exactly. I mean, Strifecro, for example, doesn't play Soulfire. I would assume he cut it for Dark Bomb.
Of course.
And but what did he cut for the Antique Healbot? That is
maybe he cut one Farseer.
Well, maybe.
Well,
we will see if
we will see that after the grand final, because every single deck list will be posted online on Kinguin's blog, and we'll give you the link to that deck list right after the grand final in the Twitch chat. So be sure to stay a few minutes after the grand final too. Okay, we're jumping to the game.
And this is not the hand that Strifecro is looking for. He wants those Mountain Giants and Twilight Tracks for sure. Before anything else.
There's one Mountain Giant.
Yeah, he gets one.
There is an... oh no, that's Paladin.
Amaz, on the other hand, needs that Iron Beak Owl to deal with Twilight Drakes. He needs Aldor Peacekeeper to deal with Giants.
And also look,
Amaz
there's the
Strifecro,
Big Owl for Strifecro too, so he plays at least one.
It is really important to have in this Paladin matchup. You can silence Tyrion with it, that's like the most obvious use, but another use is that you can just silence the debuff from the Aldor Peacekeeper, resetting your Giants to 8 attack once again, just applying a ton of pressure.
The problem with playing against Handlock is the fact that Handlock can easily counter Master for Battle with Quartermaster with just Ancient Watcher and Shadow Flame.
Or Hellfire even.
Yeah, Hellfire too.
So I'm not sure if Paladin was the right way to go. but we will find out soon enough.
Now it's, well, you know, the handlock routine. Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, both players just using
Drake,
hero powers
giant.
first.
And the routine of Paladin is tap, tap, dude, dude.
Dude, tap,
Yeah.
tap, dude, tap. Okay, Strifecro has plenty of options here. He could just play that Ancient Watcher. If he
Well-
wants to, because if he wants to do a play at all, he chooses to life tap and he will most likely coin out the Watcher in this situation.
Yes, I presume it is the option here.
Because he does not want to overdraw.
And he also, the draw for Tinfall will mean that the Mountain Giant will be for 4 mana, so it will be playable anyway.
Yeah, and the reason why life tapping into coining the Ancient Watcher instead of just playing the Ancient Watcher was so good is because, first of all, he gets more options into his hand. Sure, he burns the coin away, so he will not have mana stability that much. But another reason why life tapping was good there is because he has 2 Molten Giants in his hand. He has to play them eventually somehow, if he doesn't drop low enough. But
No, he has 1 Mountain Giant.
Molten.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Molten Giants, I mean. He wants to drop low enough so he can play them both.
True. Still no equality for Amaz here, so this might be a struggle against those Molten Giants if they will be played soon enough. But for now I think Sludge Belcher will be played, or aggressive route with Iron Beak all, but I think the Sludge Belcher is the way to go here. Then you kill one of the recruits and just silence your giant the turn after that.
Yeah, just using that giant to kill recruits is definitely not a bad move considering that Quartermaster is a card.
That's a card, not too shabby.
Yeah, he has to. Those 1/1s just became that much more threatening, and after TVG got released, he has to respect those.
Seal of Light buffing the weapon to kill the Belcher in the way, so Peacekeeper can kill off this small sludge. Still the giant will be on board, but now it might be... It's a tough spot. If you use that silence, you have no answer to Tyrion afterwards.
You could just see Hellfire here. He's not really... he doesn't really care about the Mountain Giant getting 3 damage, I would assume.
I agree.
Because the Mountain Giant will most likely get ignored anyway, and then he can still surprise Amaz with... Strifecro can still surprise Amaz with that Iron Beak Owl.
Well, the
surprise
other
7 damage
option
additionally.
is to Dark Bomb the Peacekeeper, kill one recruit with the giant, but first of all you can tap.
Another benefit... I mean, Strifecro can just do this regardless, this Hellfire. He has still double Shadow Frame to clear boards. And also, he drops lower for the Molten Giants, which is also an important factor. You can, for example, play Hellfire, and then Light
he
Tap
will
as
be...
well.
I thought he would be using Shadow Flame on the Owl, but he doesn't do that.
Oh, this is actually a little bit risky if Amaz has an equality, for example.
But he doesn't have it, and there's only Consecration, so he's still not able to clear the board. He can silence the giant to reduce the taunt, but that's nothing that you want to do. He has to kill the giant, but he has no way. He can Peacekeeper it again, which I think might be a viable option here.
But then it still has taunt, keep that in mind.
Yep. But you can still kill the owl anyway.
We will see what Amaz decides to do here soon enough. We could also see a Consecration.
Nope.
But
Dude.
he decides to go for a dude. Attacking... I feel like attacking the Mountain Giant there was also okay, because the Argus threatens to kill that 3-2 already. Just
Now
deal
it's
3 damage.
Now it's Shadow Flame turn, I think. Or it's Dr. Boom. It might be Dr. Boom. Then you kill Argus.
Yeah,
Argus
Dr. Boom-
kills the Peacekeeper, Giant kills the Recruit, and Dr. Boom just hits.
Dr. Boom is just
Here's
like
the
another
table.
giant, pretty much.
Yep.
Both Peacekeepers have already been used. And also the Dr. Boom and the Boombots get protected by the big taunt that is the Mountain Giant.
Humility. That's the third Peacekeeper for that giant that was just played.
Yeah, I did not expect that card for sure. This is interesting. Also combos very well with Pyromancer. the
Oh, yeah.
ability.
Let me think.
What will Amaz decide to do here?
Well, you can't really use the Consecrate because that can kill off your minions for sure.
That is correct, but he can... yeah... He
Use
will
the
definitely
hu-
use the humidity. The
Yep.
Conductor Boom is too big of a threat.
4 bombs on the table. We will see some RNG next turn.
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't get more RNG than Dr. Boom, except maybe Unstable Portal.
Hellfire. Oh man, that will result in 4 booms afterwards.
Oh,
Well, I think you actually do that. But
you can attack phase with everything first.
Yep, and then you do a Hellfire, and then most probably the bombs can kill off the Dr. Boom, and if that doesn't happen, you can use still the Dark Bomb. Shadow Flame
That's
and
Shadow Flame,
Shadow
right.
Flame and Dark Bomb. This might be actually even better. Boom. Bomb. Oh man,
That
that's
was an
nice.
insane outcome. A bomb hitting the bomb and the bomb in retrospect also doing 3 damage. Didn't even have to use the Dark Bomb.
Yeah,
He used his regular bomb right there.
yeah. Bomb is better than Dark Bomb, confirmed on stream.
Man, it's also allowed Strifecro to life tap instead of using the 2 mana for the Dark Bomb. That was a perfect turn for him. Also still has a bunch of minions on the board, which he wouldn't have if he actually went for the Hellfire. Shadow Flame definitely the better play here.
Tyrion.
Now
Well,
Tyrion-
that's the last resort.
Yeah, now Tyrion is on the board and Strifecro doesn't have an immediate answer for it, but he will most likely muster enough damage to kill it off.
He was searching for that second Iron Beak All, but he didn't get it.
So I would assume the Boom Bot running into the Divine Shield and then hopefully getting a lot of damage on something.
I think so. Oh, and he...
1
Oh.
damage.
That's sad. But he still can trade the Dark Bomb with Defender of Argus here. I think Strifecro's plan was to actually deal more than 1 damage with the bomb and then finishing it off with the Dr. Boom and Dark Bomb if needed.
Yeah, I think that was the plan, but it's not bad to lose the Defender of Argus instead of the Doctor Boom. I think that keeping Doctor Boom is actually even better. It has way better stats than the Argus.
Well, you can use the Dark Bomb, can finish off with the Defender of Argus and play Defender of Argus second time. You have 2 Sunfury Protectors. Okay, he's opting for the Sunfury Protector.
Yeah, and the Sunfury Protector gives the Doctor Boom taunt, which effectively soaks up a whole hit from the Ashbringer, and it even would survive that hit from the Ashbringer too.
That's true.
Amaz is dangerously low at 9 health, and I mean, fortunately for him, he has that Antique Healbot to heal him back up to 17.
That Antique Healbot is... he has a greater health potion in his hand, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Or greater healing potion. I didn't play WoW much. But one of those two. So he didn't opt to play equality before,
Let me think.
so
Yeah,
he has to deal.
He cannot blow his equality like that. He
Yep.
needs it for the molten giants that are in Strifecro's hand from quite
Now-
some time already.
The question is, do you silence the taunt and just go face with the 5
If you
points?
silence the taunt, then you make it a 7/7.
Oh man, that will be disastrous. It's a good thing I'm not playing in that game.
And Strifecro is actually has the possibility to do that himself now.
So that's 9 points of damage plus 3 from Hellfire. He has 5 points of lethal. He can actually squeeze 2 additional points of damage with his Defender of Argus, which would mean that he's 3 points of lethal. You might actually do this. Nope. You're life tapping for a mountain giant.
It's pretty safe to just go for Mountain Giant and Argus in this situation, I would say. You can still keep trading the board. You don't necessarily have to silence that Dr. Boom.
So many possibilities.
Less and less players are playing the Black Knight, which threatens such kind of boards. So I think Strifecro isn't even thinking about Black Knight here.
Oh, he is deciding to go for the Iron Beak Owl. I like it.
Getting groped. Will he Reynard?
Alright.
Oh man, that's close, but the thing with the spectator mode is that we are not actually seeing every single action in real time, so some actions might be even clicked before the end turn button. 9 points of health, that
Now
is
this
not
is a
enough.
board that you need to equality immediately.
Yep, I agree.
Let me
There's no way you can
Equality
take another hit from
consecration.
Dr. Boom.
I think that's the correct move. Then you keep that 1-1, which can, well, be useful in later turns when you draw a second equality.
Alright, we will see it.
Yep,
Equality, consecration. And then
equality
does
consecration.
he choose to actually go for face here?
I think so. Well,
Because this will enable 0 mana Molten Giant.
well, you will enable those almost anyway because a life tap just brings those two
Yeah, that's
Molten
right.
Giants to 2 points of mana, which is
And you
almost
kind-
nothing.
And you kind of have to use your Ashbringer somehow as well.
You have to win the game somehow.
Yeah.
So now it's double Molten Giant, Hellfire first, Taunt up.
I like this. You don't even have to taunt up. You can just play the Antique Healbot if you want to, because you have to consider if there's another board clear with another equality,
Yep,
then Strifecro would just lose if he doesn't heal.
that's true. So he might use the Antique Healbot instead of the Sunfury Protector. He didn't play instantly the second Molten Giant. What might be the thinking process here? I think there's no
Just
reason.
to not lose
Just
both of them to equality.
well, he has a Molten Giant anyway.
I mean, he already needs one to kill right now, so he didn't necessarily have to play the second one. But right now, this board is enough to finish off Amaz. Amaz doesn't have anything to deal with it, and Antique Healbot got Strifecro out of range from the Ashbringer. Amaz committing honorable Zubaru, and
Yep.
yeah,
Well, the
Strifecro takes
Giants.
it.
The Giants are a problem for Amaz setup. They are. I think Amaz might actually try the Warrior right now against the Handlock, but if that fails too, this will be a really hard task for Amaz.
Yeah, it seems like Strifecro got Amaz's number with this Handlock. Handlock proving to be strong against both Priest and Paladin, and if this Warrior won't be able to put out anything threatening against Handlock, then I don't see Amaz winning with either deck that he can revive.
That's true. Amaz will be choosing Warrior for the next match, and as we were talking, this might be the best deck against Handlock, and I'm kind of curious why didn't he choose this before?
Well, yeah, as I said before, in the past, Paladin used to be very strong against Handlock.
But not this time.
Yeah, if it is the Antique Healbot that made the difference, I would say. Not necessarily in this situation, because he also had taunt givers, but in general, Antique Healbot, there's plenty of situations in the Paladin versus Handlock matchup where you need this really big boost of heal.
That's true, but also we have to think that Paladin is a different deck than before. It's is on a different level even. Most of the Paladins were playing cards like Beam Hunter, like Black Knight, and those were those swingy cards that you needed against the Handlock. And without those, you're lacking any answers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Black Knight has fallen out of favor, and Black Knight has always been an insane card against that deck.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, he still has the Elder Peacekeepers to deal with giants in some way. but that debuff can just be silenced. Strifecro does have 2 ults at his disposal.
Okay, so we're jumping into the game, and well, that's not a good hand. You can keep the shield slam, but it's very risky.
It's actually funny that the buff
Execute.
that Paladin received with a
Was a
quartermaster and Master for Battle combo made actually the matchup worse against Handlock.
Well, there'll always be some changes. Look, a big game hunter. Why didn't Amaz choose this deck as the second option?
Yeah, I have no idea. He also has Harrison in that deck to deal with Jarax's weapon, and
He has Brawl to deal with a massive board.
yeah, Brawl is always a very strong card. What you want to do as the warrior in this matchup is pressure the Handlock as much as possible, just like the Paladin would do, but yeah, instead of using Equality Consecration after Molten Giants hit the board, you use the Brawl.
That's true.
The beast in my sight.
Right away,
Swing.
Big Game Hunter.
Now
That's swing
this
turn.
is something that you don't want to see when you're playing Handlock. Big
However,
Game-
as we can see, Strifecro also uses Big Game Hunter, which is very decent in this matchup. We already see one target in Amaz's hand. Dr. Boom will be dealt with by Big Game Hunter eventually.
You're right. So now, Hellfire, the Big Game Hunter. Well, that's I think the thought process behind that Hellfire is also clearing that armor that is stacking up for all the shield smashes. But right now Amaz is back to 8 points, and that means if Strifecro doesn't deal at least 3 points of damage this turn, his Molten Giant will be just swept with the Shield Slam for 1 mana.
Yeah, he might just choose to go a different route and not play the Mountain Giant, but he decided to go for it anyway. He saw the Big Game Hunter #1 already being played, therefore he's not afraid of that.
This
but
is-
obviously Shield Slam will be used here.
This is almost as bad
Oh, wait
as
a
the Big Game
second.
Hunter.
We might actually see Execute instead.
Really? Okay, that's very interesting.
Yes, because he wanted to enable that card draw. It
But-
doesn't really matter if he uses Shield Slam or Execute. Both those cards fulfill that same role, just killing a big threat. And instead he opted for the Execute because he wanted to enable his Acolyte on that turn as well.
Well, see, he still had mana for the Shield Slam, but I think he wanted to bluff Amaz that he didn't have any of those. And also, Handlock is, I mean, Warrior. I mean, sorry, guys. Handlock doesn't have an easy way of clearing the that armor without using direct damage from spells. An example, Dag Bomb. And who would actually use a phase damage here at this point of the game? We might see Dr. Boom at 10-7, but this will be disastrous.
Yeah, the Dr. Boom would just allow Amaz to run his Acolyte into one of those bombs.
Yep.
And
Maybe draw even 2 cards from that.
Yeah, drawing 2 cards off of the Acolyte additionally to the card that already drew. Not what Strifecro wants.
Farseer and Acid Watcher can deal with that Acolyte of Pain. Will Strifecro use those Shield Slams here? Probably not. He will just see Death Spite killing the Farseer and then armoring up, or either playing second Acolyte of Pain, but this might threaten overdrawing.
Oh my.
He can also play a Taskmaster to damage his Acolyte of Pain and trade for the Farseer. Or play the Death Spite, kill the Farseer, and then buff his Acolyte of Pain anyway with the Taskmaster.
I'm pretty sure he's just going to ignore this Ancient Watcher, first of all.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the most obvious play here would be Cruel Taskmastering their own Acolyte. And just playing Death Spite after that.
Many
And killing
options.
and killing that Farseer as well.
Many options, and not a single one is very obvious here. And drawing now will mean that he kinda lacks of for the time that he needs to for the all of the animations here. So he's going with the first option I proposed, which is playing the weapon and armoring up. Strifecro still can't really play Dr. Boom, so Sludge Belcher isn't good anymore too. This is a rough spot. He's playing the Dr. Boom, oh wow.
This is interesting. I thought he would just enable his Ancient Watcher so this the Ancient Watcher would take the hit from the Death Bite.
That's very
Because
interesting.
that's actually a minion you want to see die to the Death Bite effect. But right now he's going for the Dr. Boom. How will Amaz respond?
Well, he can first draw the card from the bomb, I think. This
Most
might-
likely we will see a Shield Slam here.
No, first Shield Slam, because if the bomb hits your hits your face for more than 2 points of damage, this will be disastrous for the Shield Slam.
Yeah. And we might actually see an attack with the Death Bite on the Ancient Watcher no matter what.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean the Ancient Watcher will be a threat eventually.
He's going for
So we
face.
might as well attack it
Nope.
right now.
Good choice here.
What will the bombs hit and how much damage will they deal? 3, popping the whole shield, and another 3.
6 points of damage for
Acolyte
Exactly.
actually survives though, so that's also, I think, a little bit important.
wow. That was a great turn. Now Strifecro has a real big threat on the board, and those bombs, man, they have so much value.
He does have the Big Game Hunter right now to deal with the Dr. Boom immediately, if he chooses to do so. He could also use a Siphon Soul, but he doesn't really want to heal up. He wants to drop a little bit lower, so Molten Giant can be played eventually.
I've got the beast in my
Well, the Big Name Hunter is a valid option for sure, but you have to deal with those bombs anyway.
I think we might see a Sludge Belcher here. Oh,
Antique
actually going for
Healbot.
Antique Healbot. This is very interesting. I guess he just wants to get some minions on the board that he's willing to sacrifice to those boom bots. But I feel like
Now he
Sludge
trolled
Belcher
you.
is
He will play the Belcher.
I think I personally would play the Belcher here. I think the Healbots are too important for the late game.
Oh man, he trolled you so hard. Now he's going with the Antique Healbot. Ragnar.
I just feel that Healbots are way more important. For example, if Alexstrasza targets you, for example, in general, if you're low enough for the Gromash combo, Healbot is just a perfect way to get out of it.
Yep, and you don't really want to drop Jaraxxus just against that combo with Gromash, because that can actually kill you easily. 4 points of damage from the bomb, so a really awesome trade for Amaz here.
And the Ragnaros dealing some damage.
Ragnar's negating
actually-
the effect of the Healbot from the last turn.
This is actually a good sign for Strifecro because there's no Alexstrasza. If Amaz has Alexstrasza, he definitely would have played that one before.
For sure.
But right now, Strifecro needs to deal with this Ragnaros first things first. And he has the Siphon Soul to do that.
Life top first, I like it. He hadn't drawn any mortal coils yet, and that will be really sweet against that against that bomb.
Yeah, he might only play one Mortal Coil, I would assume.
He might actually be cutting the mortal coils from 2 to 1 for that second Antique Healbot.
Yeah.
So he's thinking about playing the Sunfury Protector just for the stats. This is one of the trademarks under his Druid. Turn 2, Sunfury Protector.
You kind of need, it's okay to do that because you kind of need to use your mana if you keep on live tapping every turn, so you don't eventually overdraw. But right now, Strifecro value, I mean, I would also value the Battlecry from the Sun Fury way more than just playing him on without that board. We have yet to see the Jaraxxus. I mean, Strifecro will eventually play it. The question is when.
Then Harrison Jones will get some value, but this will mean overdrawing a ton of cards. Amaz still has the coin, golden one, but it's not from Galawix.
Yeah, definitely Strifecro cannot play this Jaraxxus as long as a Deathbite with 1 durability is on the board that can trigger the Grommash.
He still has 1 Shadow Flame. He doesn't care about that Acolyte of Pain drawing cards because Amaz has a full hand anyway.
How do you like Twilight Drake, Ancient Watcher and Defender of Argus here?
I think that's the way you should do it, but then you are very vulnerable to Brawl.
Yeah, well, you have to have a board against that Brawl eventually. You just have to set it up kind of that you don't commit too much to it and you don't commit all your best minions into it right away.
Yeah, but what do you think about Belcher and Molten Giant?
Well, the Belcher just dies. to
Well then,
the-
Belcher and Twilight Drake.
I kind of like the Twilight Drake and Watcher Argus here. Because both taunted up minions survive the Death Bite. Then he would have to use Boombot to be able to deal with the rest.
He goes with the Belcher. Belcher and no Twilight Drake before that, so tap into Oh man! Did he really just do that?
Yeah, that's definitely a slight misplay. You really want that additional health on the
I think
Twilight Drake.
he just changed his mind after playing the Belcher.
Yeah, maybe he was considering playing the Molten Giant, because he might not
Yeah.
want to drop too low.
Yeah, exactly. I think he wanted to play the Molten Giant, but right after he played the Belcher, he was like, "Oh, I'll go with Twilight Drake here." But oh damn, I just missed 1 point of health here.
It might actually be relevant.
Oh, yeah, for
considering
sure.
Considering all this 1 damage things going on with Boombot and Deathbite.
Look at this. There's a sheep also. 1 point, so it's actually like 2. So now if Amaz uses the
Wait a
sheep...
second. Sludge Belcher entered the play after Deathbite, so if at Deathbite attacks the Sludge Belcher now, the slime will spawn after the effect.
Yep.
Alright.
I was thinking that maybe Amaz will opt to play the sheep first, so it will clear, but this is way better anyway. And it didn't matter that the Twilight Drake had 1 health point less, because it ate execute anyway.
Strifecro is still in a really rough spot here, even though we obviously know that Amaz doesn't even have that Grommash yet, but Strifecro just assumes with so many cards drawn for Amaz, he definitely has that Grommash in his hand, waiting to strike.
That's true. Molten Giant for 3 points of mana. So now we will probably see a brawl.
This actually, with Amaz drawing so many cards in this matchup already, we might not even see Harrison being able to kill a Jaraxxus weapon.
He has a shield block, so he might actually go for shield block, draw, armor up, and shield slam the giant.
Yeah,
Maybe he will draw into a Fiery War Axe, and then he can easily kill the Ancient Watcher. Oh, exactly. That's what happened here. But he goes with the Bomb Lobber. Yeah.
Goes for the bomb lover instead. 50-50 to hit the Ancient, so he can kill it off with the Acolyte, and he gets it.
That's even better than the War Axe for sure.
Even can kill the Sanitary Protector without his own Bomb Blubber dying. Well played by Amaz for sure. But now, how does Strifecro retort? We have double Dark Bomb that can deal with both those minions. He could actually just go for his Healbot, now that there's no Molten Giant in hand.
Well, he will use both Dark Bombs, I think.
No,
Nope.
he has to heal up because of the threat of Grumman.
Oh yeah, you're right. Alexstrasza still can deal 4 points of damage.
Yeah?
And she will
I
be
think he will
useless.
actually go for it.
Yeah, she will be useless after Jaraxxus will hit the board. And he just saw the second Ancient Healbot, so you're not in fear of Strifecro actually healing up for more than 3 from the Farseers after the Alexstrasza. So I think you play the Alexstrasza here and then attack for 3 points of damage. So, oh, maybe trade. Okay, never mind. But still, Alexstrasza going down.
That is a big threat, but Strifecro, fortunately for him, he has the answer with that Siphon Soul. He has to always have a clear board, or be in a favorable board position when he wants to play that Lord Jaraxxus.
Second Molten Giant. This is a great draw for Strifecro here.
Yeah, but he still needs to clear that Alexstrasza first, so he cannot play both at the same time, unfortunately.
Of course. Yep, Siphon Soul. And probably nothing this turn more.
Yeah. There's still double Shadow
There's the
Flame.
Gromash.
There's still double Shadow Flame for Strifecro. Unfortunately, Warrior is not a matchup, at least especially Amaz's Warrior, is not a matchup where Shadow Flame is that relevant.
Now, Sylvanas is a great setup for the brawl, because if she's not silenced, then the brawl will always mean that you can take either your opponent's creature that will win the brawl, or you will just, you know, save your Sylvanas for the board. That's a Shadow Flame, so Strifecro may sacrifice a creature for that, or he can just play the Owl to silence and then finish it off with his Shadow Flame and Dark Bomb, but this is such a commitment, I think it doesn't make any sense. Also, well, he is dead next turn if he doesn't taunt up, and I think that he knows that. So he might actually play Giant, Silence, and taunt up. Does he have mana for everything?
Twilight Drake, Iron Beak Owl, and Friend of Argus seems like a decent play. The Twilight Drake will have enough attack to deal with the Sylvanas by itself. And 10 health is a lot as well. And Amaz doesn't have
He used
anything
both
to
executes.
yeah, he doesn't have any spell that can deal with the Twilight Drake immediately. If he wants to kill it, he needs to use the Brawl. He can actually,
I think
what he actually can do is kill off the Owl with the Sylvanas and then Brawl. Then it is a 33% chance that Sylvanas survives, a 33% chance that Argus survives, and then he can kill the Argus with the weapon.
Don't you think that then it's better to actually play Brawl right now before killing the Owl?
Yeah, I guess you just want to reduce the odds that Twilight Drake survives.
Oh man!
Oh my god! But yeah, Strifecro definitely getting lucky there.
No,
Holy crap.
this is a disaster.
Amaz. It was a low chance that Twilight Drake survives. 25% chance is not much, but it's enough to happen, obviously.
Wow. This... how can Amaz deal with a 5/10 taunter?
He just punches it seems. Wow.
Next turn you can actually use sheep, Taskmaster 1 sheep. The second sheep will trigger the other sheep and deal 4 points of damage to the whole board, but that's still not enough to kill the Twilight Drake. Dark Bomb into Mortal Coil will kill the Harrison Johns here and also enable a draw for Strifecro, which I think is really needed right now because his hand is kinda clunky. There's 2 Shadow Flames and Molten Giant, and you want to play the Molten Giant before you play Jaraxxus. So I think you should first play the Dark Bomb with Mortal Coil, see what do you get, and then think about the correct order of play afterwards, like Molten Giant into something else.
You can also just play Lord Jaraxxus here.
Well, then you...
But yeah, if you wanted Molten Giant out before. Then
Yeah,
you have to
exactly. And you don't then actually want to skip a 8/8 creature when you're actually in control of the board.
Yeah. So Molten Giant will hit the board. The question is, will he strike the life tap?
He did life tap, okay.
Gets the Belcher.
So,
That's also pretty good.
oh,
He can just overextend as much as he wants now because the Brawl is gone.
that's
And
true.
there's no threat of all his minions getting cleared here.
Amaz is in a really bad spot.
Yeah, Mars just has a whole bunch of nothing right now. He needs to just try to clear the board as effectively as he can with double explosive sheep, but it will not kill the giant. It will not even kill the Belcher, I think. So, what does Amaz do here? He could also go for Shield Maiden, get some more armor, get some more extra health to survive a couple of turns more to draw his final cards in his deck.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. He has to play the one sheep, I think. Because the sheep will eat some one attack, or at least the Mortal Coil, I think. This will mean that he can actually kill the Twilight Drake without sacrificing a 5/5 creature. Maybe Strife will be actually forced to kill the Shield Maiden with his Twilight Drake. Five to the face, Shadow Flame.
No, you Mortal Coil the Shield Maiden, so he doesn't draw a card over it. He doesn't want to draw it because he only has one card left in his deck. And then he will run the Twilight Drake into the sheep, I would assume.
Does it make any sense?
Yes, it does. It clears the board and the Sludge Belcher survives.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. That was really well done. 11 points to the face and 3 from Jaraxxus, so 14 points of damage dealt this turn. Gorehole.
It's Gorehole, but it's too late for that.
Well-
Gorehole would have been useful way earlier.
He still has some time. So if he draws a second Taskmaster, he can actually win this game still.
Well, there's Taunt Givers though for Strifecro.
Yeah, but Amaz doesn't know that yet. No, I'm out of cards!
I'm pretty sure he knows because Strifecro's out of cards and you can kind of count
Yeah,
the
you're
Taunt
right.
Givers being played. So Strifecro definitely seems like he has this game locked down. That Infernal for 2 mana, it's just too strong. Very, very big, very strong taunt. Dark Bomb dealing with the Taskmaster, just getting rid of it.
Recombobulate that Infernal or get on the Sylvanas for free or Cairn.
It can happen sometimes.
I am almost out of cards. So yeah. Sudoku here.
Out of cards, out of health, and Amaz will most likely concede the game here. Yes,
He even
does.
failed at the Sudoku.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 3-1 for Strifecro, and it actually goes what we were saying, that Handlock is a great deck for the whole setup from Amaz, and now Amaz has a really hard task to choose from, because he has to revive one deck, and he has to pick the one that has the best chances against the Handlock, and I think that this will be the Warrior.
Oh, I think so too. It was actually a tough call for Amaz, to be fair, I have to say. Even if he knew that Handlock, that Strifecro plays Handlock, right?
Mm-hmm.
He banned Strifecro's Druid, and Druid also performs fairly well against the lineup that Amaz has, I think.
Right.
So it's a tough call to decide whether Handlock is or Druid is like the bigger threat to Amaz's lineup. But yeah, I don't think actually that Amaz predicted that Strifecro played Handlock, and yeah, it just like
Well,
now Handlock is taking the series by storm, as you can see.
tough
Amaz-
luck for Amaz, and Strifecro is in a great position to be in the semifinals, just one game away from that. And then we'll be seeing, if that happens actually, then we'll be seeing a Team Archon match for third place.
That's right. Many people expected that Team Archon would have been in the finals, maybe,
Yep.
but instead we get them as a third place match, which is
Still not
obviously-
over. Still not over though.
Well, I think that Strifecro is still already in
Well,
such a great
his-
position. I mean, he beat all three of Amaz's decks with his one Handlock deck.
Yep.
How does Amaz plan to like beat this?
This is a great position to Strifecro. He's in the driver's seat right here. Alex Straza for the first opening hand for Amaz.
Oh,
Well-
will Strifecro actually go for that aggressive route, Ancient Watcher into Iron Beak Owl, or
I
will he
think
just choose
he-
the life tap?
Well, I think you can do this because you can then beat the armor points from warrior, so he can won't be able to build the armor up for the shield slams.
Yeah,
and
that
I
is
think
right.
that's one of the best strategies against warrior.
That is right. It denies Amaz the shield slam. But right now, he sees that play coming. I would assume that's why he plays explosive sheep, so he can use explosive sheep along with execute to deal with a potentially silent ancient watcher. Let's see how Strifecro responds to this explosive sheep. He might just, yeah, he will wait. He will wait and just life tap.
Big Game Hunter, really important draw for Amaz, but it didn't help much in the first game when the warrior was facing the Handlock.
I mean, sure, Strifecro in the end just drew his
Whole
big
deck,
threats
yeah.
way too early already. He had both mountain giants very early. It was relatively easy for Amaz to deal with them, but eventually he just ran out of answers.
So now Strifecro didn't draw any Twilight Drake or Mountain Giant for 10-4, which is kinda unfortunate, but he activates the Ancient Watcher with a Sun Fury Protector. This means Amaz might actually con out the Bomb Lobber. He will... It might be... Will he use Shield Slam here? No.
Oh, he just doesn't attack.
He didn't do nothing, that's interesting.
Now the question is, will Strifecro kill off this sheep?
Well, killing off that ship will mean that his Sun Fury defender will be killed in result, and I think he wants to chop off that armor from the warrior's shoulders. And then play maybe the Twilight Drake?
Yeah, the problem with that is if Strifecro predicts an execute, then you don't want to clear the sheep before you play this with the lack of Twilight Drake, so it's safe from the execute.
So he traded and will activate the Ancient Water. That's also a very good option just to chop off that armor.
Yeah, very well played indeed.
And that taunt doesn't really matter because any single weapon will kill the Ancient Water anyway.
Might just bomb lobber here, hopefully
Oh.
for Amaz hitting that ancient watcher.
And
Doesn't get
it
it.
fails, which is huge because if Strifecro draws a Dark Bomb, then he can trade that free minion for that, but he didn't. So now, life tap first. No, he didn't, so he plans to play Twilight Drake and afterwards Sun Fury Protector to make the taunt only on the Drake, I think. Yep, that's how it goes. And now it will be just attack for face. Ignore the free creature. Brawl comes to the Amaz hand, and this is a very crucial card in this matchup.
Could we see the brawl already, maybe?
Well, that
Will
would
he-
kinda suck.
Yeah, but he doesn't really need the brawl for for any giants right now. He still has a big game hunter in his hand.
I think you
next
use
to-
a Taskmaster to execute the Twilight Drake, then trade the free for Ancient Watcher, but that leaves your Taskmaster just defenseless against the Sun Fury. Or wait, no,
He can
that's
kill the Sun Fury with Bomb Blower too, if he wants.
so. But if he plays a Bomb Blobber, that means he won't be able to execute without sacrificing his free Bomb Blobber that's already on board.
Amaz definitely has a lot of options, considering every one of them, I would assume. But right now he has to choose for one, and he actually goes for the brawl. As I
Oh
predicted.
man! I didn't think about that. Free creature, and he goes for the execute too.
It is an okay outcome because no matter what, he had a 50% chance of something good surviving, either his minion or the minion that can be executed. So it was like kind of a 50-50 in that situation.
Yeah, but I think that play that brawl just made Strifecro very confident, and he will just heavily overextend his board.
That is correct, because that is one of the key cards that wins this matchup for the warrior. This is it's the brawl.
And it's already off from turn 7. That is huge for Strifecro, and I feel like he's thinking that one of his legs is already in the finals.
Well, don't count your chickens before they hatch. It's a saying that I've heard somewhere. So the game is still not over. Amaz can still pull this off, but it will require a lot of help from RNGesus, I would assume.
So now, so many options for Strifecro. You can Dark Bomb the Acolyte of Pain and just attack phase to just not enable the shield slam so easily. You can also kill one of the creatures, heal your Sludge Belcher, and kill with the Dark Bomb the second one.
I'm pretty sure that no matter what you do, you like that first.
For more options, of course.
For more options and to get that Molten
Two
Giant playable.
Molten Giants in hand, so I'm sure that we'll see no health for his hero. He will just heal his creatures, and those Antique Healbots will be dead cards until those two Molten Giants will hit the floor.
Yeah, but that's also when you want to play the Antique Healbot after Molten Giant.
Yep. And also Strifecro has two Defender of Argus in his hand, so he's kinda safe against that Grommash that is sitting in Amaz's hand.
Yeah, as we said before, he doesn't have to be worried about Brawl anymore. There's no Black Knight as well.
Shield Slam doing some work, Taskmaster killing the little sludge, and Death Spite, I presume it will kill the Farseer.
That is correct. Amaz clearing the board, with the exception of that Ancient Watcher, and that Ancient Watcher will be taunted up, I would assume.
Mortal Coil with a great timing here. One of the occasions when you can actually draw a card, but Strifecro might actually be thinking, do I need to draw the card right now?
It all depends on what kind of play he plans on making.
He doesn't want to play Jaraxxus for sure, because he has two Molten Giants in his hand. He would have to drop to 5 points of health to actually play the Molten Giants for 10 points of mana.
Alright, he decides to see what does he?
Mortal Coil first, draw a card,
What does he get?
Shadow Flame, that's not relevant at all.
So
Tap now,
Yeah, we might see a life tap here.
yep. Second Shadow Flame now, that's unlucky.
There's an Argus, which is fine to give only the Ancient Watcher taunt. Obviously always want to give 2 minions taunt, but just giving the Ancient Watcher taunt is good too, because it is a minion that cannot be killed straight up by a Death Spite attack anymore.
Yep, or that Whirlwind can be important with that execute that Amaz is holding. Alex Strauss is a dead card also. You can just play the Alexstrasza for an Archon shot to the face.
I can take the hit.
Shield Maiden now. He lacks the second Shield Slam. I think I would have played the Alexstrasza, but look, there's the Siphon, so never mind.
The question now is, there's a lot of cards that Strifecro can play, but doesn't really
Want
to play.
Yeah.
What we might actually see is just one Molten Giant, for example.
Well, tap first. No wait, he has 10 cards.
Dark Bomb, and then he can actually live tap, I would
Yeah.
say. And
Now
play-
live tap. Yes. Second Dark Bomb.
But he will play the Molten Giant instead and kill off the Shield Maiden with that Defender of Argus. Very well played indeed.
So now, Amaz has to use the Whirlwind, or he can attack face to the Ancient Watcher, use the Execute. Oh, never mind. I forgot about the Big Game Hunter. I was thinking too much. That was the obvious choice, of course. Harrison Jones
once
just
again hitting the board before the Raxus.
This is
Play.
interesting. Dr. Boom, this is a great draw. This is actually something he wants to draw, maybe, because it also fits with Dark Bomb, and Dark Bomb will kill the Big Game Hunter. You don't really care about Harrison Jones. Well, you can always use the Shadow Flame to kill both, but you can't really do that. Well, wait, there's a lethal on board if there's no taunt on board from Strifecro side.
I feel like you can just go for
So many possibilities.
Molten Giant Shadow Flame. What do you think?
I think that might be the case. Molten Giant, Shadow Flame, the 5/6 Ancient Watcher is a wall that is not easy to be destroyed.
Or we could also see Molten Giant and Healbot.
You think so?
Yeah, because now that the Molten Giant is actually, both Molten Giants have been played, Healbot is playable now.
Okay. So now Brewmaster
But
Panda.
wait a second, this is 23 and Amaz has 8, 13,
He has a Whirlwind.
13 and 10 from the Gromash. Whirlwind Execute will be able to kill that Ancient Watcher, and that is actually lethal.
9, 13. Yeah, that's lethal. Does
Oh,
does
wow.
MS sees it?
He's counting. I think he sees it. And he
Yep.
does! Amaz is taking this game!
Wow,
my God.
this was really close.
Strifecro not predicting this type of play, and exact lethal being dealt by Amaz.
Okay, so now
Wow, what a
wow,
turnaround!
Yeah. So actually Molten Giant Shadow Flame was much better.
Yeah, because it would have allowed Amaz to be one of lethal, and the Molten Giant Shadow Flame would have allowed, like, Antique Healbot healed 8, but Shadow Flame would have gotten rid of 9 damage, on
Yep.
which were on the board already.
So 1
So
point
that was
more.
the 1 point
Yeah.
difference that mattered in this situation.
That's true, and also next turn Strifecro actually could fit both Antique Healbot at once, healing for 16 points of damage.
That's right. I feel like this. I mean, Strifecro just didn't see the play coming, or he maybe made some miscalculations.
Maybe, well, we don't know that, and we can't
Because
really
definitely
ask him now.
just playing Shadow Flame would have been safer.
I think so, and he was sitting on 2 of those in his hand, so he was definitely thinking about it. Strifecro chose to play Paladin, to revive Paladin against Warrior, and this is a great matchup for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Warrior without-
Amaz staying alive with the. I mean, he has 3-0 to other people with Warrior before, so why not again?
Yeah. So this is the match game again for Strifecro. We have 3-2 for Strifecro. Amaz is still in the game with on back on his warrior, and it's really important to draw that brawl that actually was also important in the Handlock matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially the explosive sheep whirlwind combination will be so clutch in this matchup.
There's the Gorhole.
I cannot wait to see this matchup unfold. Let's jump right into
There's
the
the
game.
Whirlwind and there's the Bomb Blobber, two very important cards. Cruel Taskmaster is not really so good in this matchup because every single minion that has a Divine Shield and will be actually poked by the Taskmaster will be buffed for 2 points of attack without losing the health.
Except for Silver and Recruits.
Oh yeah. A Neutron entering the game? Or Silverhand Recruit? Silverhand Recruit is way worse for against the Taskmaster.
Yeah, however, Strifecro does want to put out some Silver and Recruits because he does have the Quartermaster in hand.
Taskmaster killing the Recruit, so stealing 1 turn from Strifecro. Peacekeeper, nothing you want to draw right now. And that sort of justice will be...
I think it will actually be pretty good.
Yeah, but you will not attack into
No,
Taskmaster.
because the minions that you play after that, which is Hero Power and Neutron, are both 2 attack, which is enough to deal with the Taskmaster already.
Exactly. On turn 4, that will be turn 4, and then on turn 5 you can actually play Aldor Peacekeeper for something that will hit the board if there's something will be hitting the board, like a minion from Amaz, and then he will still fit a hero power in that turn. So turn 6 might be a Quartermaster with 2 Silverhand Recruits, which is great value. And he actually did attack.
Oh wow. I guess Strifecro really doesn't want the Taskmaster around, but he will, because of that, he will lose at least 2 durability stacks only by attacking.
And he will get additional 4 points of damage from that.
But it's actually okay to do this, because you might want to get rid of the weapon sooner rather than later, because you also have True Sliver and now also the Hammer in your hand.
Yeah, and you said it right. Slam. We didn't see that card in the previous matches. Shield Slam.
Yeah, most likely the Fireworks will clear off that Neutron right now.
For sure.
How does it follow it up? I would assume Armor.
Well, he
He goes for the slam.
He can also armor up coin Shield Slam, but he wants to save the coin for the Ragnars, I think. And a Handsome Meccano, not a good timing for that card for sure. So now we'll actually see what we'll see here. Attack the Acolyte.
Yeah, I feel like the Acolyte will be attacked by this Sword of Justice.
So no,
Or actually not.
it will be the Cockhammer.
Yeah, the Strifecro valuing the buff from the Sword of Justice a little bit more, and it's okay if, because he planned on playing that Hammer instead of the True Silver Champion. Divine Shield obviously very annoying to deal with for the warrior, has to use the weapon charge to do it. Bomb Blobber will finish off that Silverhand Recruit, which is good for Amaz right now.
Tyrion, okay.
Tyrion will be a very important card in this matchup.
It's one of the clutch cards because Warrior doesn't play any kind of silence. He's playing a Harrison Jones though, but he didn't draw it yet. So this is another weak turn for Strifecro. Who might be...
Yeah, this is really awkward. We might see Consecration here. Actually goes for Aldor Peacekeeper though.
Did I just see that? That's the second mistake that Strifecro did in that semifinal.
Why?
Well, he hit that Bomb Blobber first. He just got 2 damage more.
Well, the outcome would have been the same, as you can see.
Well, not. He will be at 22 points of health.
Oh, that's what you mean. He hit
Yeah.
before. Oh, Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a mistake. That's true.
Low tip into hero power, that's for sure.
But Lothar will get killed by Deathbite and the hero power as well. So maybe he wants to go for something else?
What do you do? You play a weapon and a hero power up? Well, maybe that's better actually. Coghammer his face,
Yeah,
play True Silver Champion,
you
and
have to wait for
hero
the
power.
quartermaster. You have to wait for the quartermaster, unfortunately.
The problem with that is the explosive ship that is in Amaz's hand would actually mean full clear for every single recruit, even when buffed for the quartermaster.
Yeah, Strifecro will have to figure out what he wants to sacrifice to that
Well-
Deathbite.
If you do this type of play,
Oh, he actually goes for the Incancel Mechano. And it's okay because he will most likely never have a really big board in this matchup anymore. Unless he gets mustered for battle.
I would
And he
count
wants
for
to
that.
sacrifice something small to the Deathbite.
I think he will play the low tip.
Oh, he does-
Wow, he didn't
does
do anything.
Yeah. This might end up punishing him because now Amaz will play some of those mid-game minions like Shield Maiden to just get back on the board,
He actually lost a whole turn.
but it forces Amaz still to just... Oh wow, he's going for the Ragnarok.
Yeah, of
actually.
course you do. It's 8 points of damage just setting
wow,
up
it-
lethal for next turn.
That, you're absolutely right, and... Oh wow, I did not expect that play, but yeah, it's definitely the strongest one right now. Oh
So
my
now
goodness.
even if Tyrion will hit the board, this is 50-50 to actually end the game.
Yeah, all of a sudden this Tyrion is not relevant at all.
Wow.
Strifecro just running against the brick wall with his Paladin.
If he actually would play the True Silver Champion that turn before, he would have been out of range.
Yeah, Strifecro playing a little bit greedy, not wanting to sacrifice one of his good minions to that Deathbite.
And now
And this might end up costing him after all.
we will see a Sylvanas just to ensure that he will have less targets for the Ragnaros in the turn afterwards if he doesn't hit the phase of the Paladin. So it might be Sylvanas, Fury Warx to the recruit and 50-50 for winning the game already. Shield Maiden, okay. Well, I think I would like Sylvanas more.
Hits the Lothar, so Strifecro saves himself for another turn, but there is no equality to deal with his Ragnaros.
Yeah, that's the end of the game. Because even if Strifecro plays the Tyrion, then Amaz can just play Sylvanas and Shield Slam her to take the Tyrion back.
Yeah, Strifecro's plan is to flood the board instead with minions.
That's one of
But
the
that's not enough to, because the Explosive Sheep and Whirlwind will clear the board,
Yep.
and that will represent lethal in more than one
Wow.
way. And Amaz taking this game and evening out the series. Comeback boys. Oh man.
3-3. This is exciting. I mean, we already talked about Strifecro being in finals, and now Amaz pulling a really huge comeback with his warrior. This is huge for Amaz. He might be even nervous with that last game because that will be against a mage.
Yeah, I mean, we were so excited for this matchup, like pretty much the whole day already.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean, look at the series. Amaz is going toe to toe with Strifecro right now. 3-3. It all comes down to this final game. Game number 7. Strifecro will finally reveal his mage. I wonder though if it will be decent against that warrior at all, because he chose to go for the Paladin, and we already had the assumption that Paladin might not be favored against that type of warrior with a double explosive sheep.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, this mage might have a rough time, but we will see. Strifecro can make it work, I'm pretty sure. and he will do his best to beat Amaz's seemingly unstoppable warrior.
This looks so awesome, like 3 times Warlock, 3 times Warrior, right? Like that Warrior deck was kind of a risky play to take it as the last choice, but it might pay off for Amaz here, and we still don't know what can be the matchup for the last game because we didn't see that mage before, and we're receiving some clues about the mage. Do you see that?
I see it.
This might be interesting. This might be something new for the viewers to watch in this game. So
I'm definitely looking forward to see that. This is gonna
take
be
a
exciting.
peek. This might be something new, and we'll see something exciting. And Strifecro is, well, I think he's excited too to play something new in a tournament environment apart from that Paladin. So we're jumping to the game.
And there it is, Jaina versus Garrosh.
You ask for it. Look at that, Cogmaster.
Oh my god, it's a really hardcore aggro mech mage.
So now Amaz has to predict what kind of deck this will be, and he has at least 3 or 4 archetypes of mage that he has to take into account, and that mulligan will be crucial. I think, of course, he will mulligan away Big Game Hunter and Harrison Jones, because there's a really small chance that there will be actually giants in that kind of mage. It's possible, but I think Amaz won't risk that. He might be keeping that explosive ship in case he might encounter a aggro deck, but the most important card that he wants to hit is the Fury Warx.
That is definitely the card he wants to hit, but does he know that he needs to hit it?
Well, you always want to pick the Fury, and he gets it.
This is, oh man, this is really important for Amaz. Fiery Warx will be able to deal with the Cog Master.
Yeah, but the problem is that the Spider Tank will actually not be vulnerable to the Fury Warx.
Unless he chooses to go for Whirlwind to finish it off.
Amaz's reaction for the Cogmaster? He didn't react at all. Okay, never mind.
I'm pretty sure Amaz is actually relieved to see him, to see that Cog Master, because Fiery Warx is easy way to deal with it.
So now we'll see the Spider Tank, because that's the only creature that is not dead from the attack of the warrior. And next turn will be Tinkertown Technician, unless Amaz opts to play the Whirlwind right now, but he doesn't do it. He just armor ups and passes.
Yeah, and Tinkertown Technician will provide a very big minion and a spare part, which is crucial, because I'm sure that in this type of mage deck, Strifecro will play
Antonidas. Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
the best synergy with the spare parts for sure, especially if you get that stealth spare part.
Oh, that would be insane. Tinkertown Technician, please, dude. Oh.
Well, he decides to protect his both his strong minions from weapon attacks instead, which is also a viable play, because the Annoytron, obviously being very annoying,
Hello, hello, hello.
soaking up that weapon attack.
So now that Cogmaster will actually be able to kill the Acolyte of Pain. Now do you think, now it's a turn for Tinkertown Technician, right?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is the turn that you want to play it.
You have to kill the Acolyte of Pain also.
You can use the Spider Tank to do that, I think. Keeping 2 damage minions on the board.
Does it make a difference to have 2 health instead of 3?
You can. Wow, well, actually, the Rusty Horn will definitely. Whoa, wait, actually, the Rusty Horn might not be played because he might want to keep it for the Antonidas. But if he wants to play it, what kind of minion does he put it on?
I don't think he will play it at all, but I'm thinking, does he trade the Cogmaster or does he trade with the tank? And I think he will use the Cogmaster, because the thought process behind that is that the Spider Tank will be safe from a sheep then. And we already saw 1 Whirlwind.
Yeah, I mean, the Whirlwind has been used. You already said it, right? And therefore, Amaz will not have an enabler for the sheep unless he chooses to sacrifice the Taskmaster to do so. So I think that actually attacking the Acolyte with that Spider Tank would be better, but he didn't do neither because he gave taunts to the 4/4.
Bro, this is important card for the next turn. But now the execute will be used on the Spider Tank, I think. But first you want to draw.
He could also use it on the Kinguin Technician after attacking it with the Acolyte.
Actually, I think you should attack first with your Acolyte before you even shield block. Okay, he didn't do anything from that, so now...
Strifecro has another mech at his disposal with a Clockwork Gnome. It can give him another spare part for the Antonidas.
I think you play the Harvest Golem and Hero Power phase. Just go for phase with 7 points of damage.
Yeah, that is certainly what you might have to do here, being Strifecro. But that Brawl is looking pretty damn tasty if he overextends.
I don't think he will play the Clockwork Gnome.
We will see what he does. Harvest Golem offers definitely some
Okay,
protection
so
against
he
Brawl.
is overextending.
What will he do about this Acolyte? That is the question. He ignores it.
Well, he did it already
And then-
one time.
Yeah, and then the Brawl. Will the Brawl be played here?
I think you have to. Strifecro has only 2 cards in his hand, so he will not overextend anymore.
Problem with the Brawl is that Damage Golem will definitely spawn unless Harvest Golem survives.
That will be the best outcome for Amaz here for sure. The problem is if you don't use Brawl, you get at least like 8 points of damage to your face. And you're at 19, so you have to use it. And the Acolyte... No, that didn't.
That is the worst minion for Amaz that could have survived.
4/4 creatures Frostbolt, that's actually 9, 13, 15 points of damage. 5 points of lethal. But I think you actually play the Fireball and Frostbolt right now, and then turn 7 is Dr. Boom.
He's going for it. Also freezing Amaz is important because he cannot use any weapons this turn.
Okay, so he didn't play Fireball.
I get a hit.
Yeah, because the Fireball can also still deal with minions, like Sludge Basher for example.
Is this lethal? That's 6, 12, and 13. So 1 of lethal. So I think you just play Dr. Boom and attack face. You're still 2 turns away from Alexstrasza,
Yeah,
and
we
those bombs will provide additional damage to the board.
Yeah, definitely. Dr.
Well,
Boom has to be
he
played
has
here, I
the
would assume.
emergency coolant too, but I think Dr. Boom is just way better.
It just represents so much damage, and Amaz has like no way of dealing with all of this. He has a big amount to deal with Dr. Boom, but besides that, what does he do? He has no clear.
There's nothing he can do. Big Game Hunter for sure, that's the only way to deal with a 7/7 creature. Shield Maiden, killing off 1 creature.
Yeah, we see the Fireball in Strifecro's hand. This represents lethal. And
That's game. Strifecro is in the finals of Kinguin
my
for
God.
Charity 2014 on the back of a Mech Mage.
Fireball being played, and Amaz going down
Oh.
4-3 to Strifecro's Mech
So
Mage.
BM also.
Congratulations to Strifecro, the winner of the 2014 Christmas edition Kinguin for Charity
Semi-final.
Tournament.